All right, let's talk Rockets Warriors now. This one I think is going to be more entertaining. Warriors get the game 1 win. They really ran away with this one, second half especially. 95-85 the final score.
Sheesh.
In the year of our Lord and Savior 2025, 95-85 in the postseason.
Sheesh.
Throwback score.
Right.
Man, this was what I predicted in a way. Again, it's with these young teams against the vets.
Yep.
You and I know we're talking about it. We weren't lost in the shuffle of Warriors are 7, Rockets are the 2.
Right.
We know it's 2 really good defensive teams. And the Warriors were the best team defensively in the NBA since they got Jimmy Butler and has been running that second unit.
Yeah.
It's the same, dude. I'm going to switch it up a little, but young team comes out, especially on their home floor, has the energy. But it was just Steph, Jimmy, how efficient they were with their shots.
Yeah.
And the Warriors kept Houston in a half-court offense, and Houston did not know what to do when the game slowed down.
Yeah, you're right. And the thing about it is when I was watching this game early, I was starting to get a little bit nervous because, me and Travis on the opposite side of this matchup. I got the Warriors walking out of this one. He's got the Rockets walking out of this one, limping. I wouldn't say walking, limping out of this matchup, Yeah. But it was one of those things where the young guys came and they punched them in the mouth. You know what I mean?
They got that energy, that adrenaline.
Man, when I saw Alperen Sengun dunk on Draymond Green, I was like, uh-oh, we might have some trouble here. And then when Tari Eason got the steal in transition early in the first quarter as well and got on the rim, he's screaming. And, he was the guy who was, hey, Warriors, come out and play. So
Clinking the bottles.
Right, with the bottles, you know what I'm saying? So, I thought this was going to be one of those series where I was like, uh-oh, like there might get game 1 and this might really shock the Warriors and, change up what they have to do. But at the end of the day, it became that game where Steph started out 0 for 3, and I was like, this might get ugly. But he became Steph by just getting ran off the line. Okay, you guys did that to me a couple of weeks ago. I understand that. I'm not just going to stand out here and shoot threes. I'm going to get a couple layups because you don't have a rim protector when Sengun is at center. When Adams comes in, they do have a little bit more rim protection. But this game was just them putting Sengun in actions, kind of a little bit how teams tried to do Jokic, right? Put him in actions on defense, make him work, and see if he can get stops. And honestly, tremendous offensive output from Sengun. He didn't get that from any of his
from the floor.
Yeah, he didn't get that from any of his other teammates. Yeah. But defensively, he was a hole. Like they were just going at him in ISO, at him in pick and roll, at him in down screen actions. However they could get Sengun in the action, they were getting it, and they got whatever they wanted late in that game because of it.
Yeah, I loved what Golden State did too with approaching Houston with their defensive game plan.
Yeah.
They played Sengun straight up.
Yep.
If it was Draymond, if it was not, just left him.
Yep.
And they honestly let Draymond roam, make his Draymond defensive plays using his brain.
Right.
He was blowing everything up. And again, it started with the shot making of the Warriors.
Yeah.
They were going and hunting for the best shot possible and the best matchups, and they were getting them.
Yep.
Forcing Houston into the half court. Let Sengun beat you, but let no one else get to you. And he went 11 for 18. No one else on this team had more than 4 shots made. That's Amon Thompson, 4 for 9. Jalen Green, 3 for 15.
Tour dates.
Fred VanVleet, 4 for 19.
Tour dates. He's shooting April 19th. That's crazy.
Bro, right? Exactly. Like all of those. One of those is February 15th. No, March 15th. Excuse me on that. But that's what was mind-boggling to me. And also, offensively, Amon Thompson, you heard me on chat say he could get Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
What was he doing in game 1? He was lost. His intensity wasn't there.
Right.
His awareness was like square one. I have it in my notes. Early possession in the first. Steph was bringing it up. Amon in his face.
Yeah.
Gets it to Payton in the second. Thompson turns his back to 30. Relaxes. Steph gets the ball back. Splits Eason and Amon. Yeah. Because by the time he locates Steph, he's gone.
Yeah.
Easy make right around the rim.
Yeah.
And then it's also, he's splitting Eason and Thompson in transition.
Yeah.
It's just not picking him up. And then it's also Steve Adams getting matched up with Steph on the perimeter and him not even shooting the 3, just setting him up, getting him to leave his feet and driving by him. Right. Amon Thompson's way too good, way too athletic, way too freaky on the defensive end of the floor. You got to fly paper Steph. You got to play him straight up, and you have to go hard every single minute you're out there. Drain all the energy in your body. Don't worry about offense, but you can't let Steph get 31. Steph's last bucket came with 5.5 minutes left in the game. Jimmy Butler, Moses Moody, Pods, they closed it out.
Closed the game. 100%.
But watching Amon Thompson, it just didn't make sense. He needs to be more engaged. And Udoka, watch that, probably went in on him, and I think we're going to get a more locked-in Amon Thompson game.
100%. Look, here's the thing. If you went into this game and you're a Rockets fan, you walk out, and going into this game, you're thinking, all right, we have to shut down Curry, and we have to slow down Jimmy Butler. If we can do those things, then we'll be fine, right? And then when you look at the box score, like you said, Curry with 31 points, 5 for 9 from 3, 12 for 9 from 19 from the field. Jimmy Butler, 25 points, 10 for 9 from the field, 1 for 2 from 3. This is one of those things where you did not take away the best things that make the Warriors, right? You didn't make Draymond have to shoot the ball. He only shot the ball 5 times. This is the thing. You didn't follow your game plan at all. And then on the other end, on the offensive end, you got tour dates, but it's not just because guys aren't making shots. Yeah, they weren't making shots. But as a basketball player, if I'm not making shots, I still have to have the confidence to take open shots. But slightly open shots, when you're as athletic as a Jalen Green is and as good of a player and a veteran as Fred VanVleet, hey, let me go get a mid-range. Hey, let me try to go get to the free throw line. Hey, let me go get a layup. For them to not do that and waiting for shots to go in against a Warriors team with a Steph who was electric and on fire. I mean, he was shooting shots off one leg, faders in the corner.
He was
threes.
Attacking the inside too, no problem. He wanted to go inside. He's like, all right, chase me off the perimeter. And then his dagger at the end that gave him 31 was vintage Steph deep from 3, just yelling in your face because you can't stop him.
Yeah. All right. What about game 2? What do you see in this one? Let's just get a prediction off real quick before we move them.
Warriors got to clean up the offensive rebounds. That's the one thing.
Yeah. Plus 16 for the Rockets in that game. That was insane.
They finished 22 offensive rebounds.
But they still won by 2 because the Rockets can't shoot. But I digress. Go ahead.
No. 95-85 is the final. They let up all those second chance points. So they got to clean up the offensive rebounds. 100%. But keep it slow. And continue to let Jimmy and Steph initiate all the action, and I think that's the biggest thing too. I'm on your side of history. Let's officiate. Let's make this official.
You're right. Okay.
Trav, love you, bro. Thanks for letting me fill in for you on Hold My Banner. Ante and I are going to be on the right side of history.
Let them know
because the Warriors in that play-in game and what we've seen from them since Jimmy Butler was traded for, and I'm on the wrong side of history of that. I said, what is he going to wake up this age? Try? No, he's washed.
Yeah.
I'm wrong. But now I'm on the right side of history. Mm-hmm. He runs that second unit that the Warriors are getting 0 production at. Yep. And by him taking over and initiate all the action, it lets Pods do his thing. Mm-hmm. Payton the second do his thing. It lets all the depth pieces that the Warriors have go out and play, but they have 2 full units of guys that are just being so efficient on the floor.
Yeah.
And when it comes to closing, no notes on the Warriors. Keep doing it. Clean up the offensive rebounds. Yeah. Be smart with the shots. As it is for the Rockets, they got to speed up the tempo. Yep. They got to take smarter shots, but they have to speed up the tempo. Let them get set on defense. Mm-hmm. Then they'd be disciplined on defense, Amon Thompson. And they got to make shots. Yeah. Don't hunt for 3, but maybe we see more Cam Whitmore minutes, maybe more Reed Shepherd, because they don't have shooting, and everyone knows that. The Warriors know that.
Yeah, everyone knows it.
Udoka has to go into his bench, and the guys that don't normally play, he has to get some production out of them and find some 3-point production. Yeah. I think game 2, Rockets do bounce back. I think it's going to be 102-96 Rockets win.
Okay, yeah. I think the Rockets are going to win this game too. And the reason that I think they're going to win this game is because I think they're going to try up some different lineups, right? They're going to try to get another shooter into the lineup, some more defenders. I think that he's probably going to look towards Aaron Holiday a little bit more in this game. He didn't play him at all. He got to coach DNP in this game. Yeah. But this is one of those guys who's a 3-and-D guy, a good shooter. He knocks down, kind of like his brother. You know what I mean? He kind of like Drew.
Just timely shots, timely
shots. Not to the effect that Drew Holiday is, but in the similar vein. Yeah. So I think that the Rockets are going to end up walking away with this one. I think it's going to be a little bit of a higher scoring output for them. I'm going to go 102 Rockets. Yeah. Warriors 99.
2 things real quick before we move on. One, the Holidays kind of like low key legendary like sports families. Yeah. Aaron Holiday and Drew. Where are they from, Tay?
They're from Los Angeles.
Yeah, come on now. I tried to give it to my boy. 2, do we see Jonathan Kuminga in this series?
Yeah, I think we do.
So?
I think we do. I think we see him in game 3.
Why game 3?
Because I think they lose game 2.
So there's some response.
So, I think that we end up seeing him in game 3. Yeah,
he went so long without playing. Was playing towards the end of the regular season. I cannot get any foresight into Steve Kerr and what he thinks of Jonathan Kuminga.
Yeah, I don't think he likes him. I mean,
I don't think he has to
that's been
freelance
kind
or
of
something.
apparent since they drafted him. You know what I mean? They haven't been in love with the pick.
Yeah.
You know, so it is what it is.
I think great spot for Kuminga would end up in Houston. They're not going to get shooting. You got to do more shuffling.
Yeah.
But I feel like a coach like Udoka would get the most out of a Jonathan Kuminga. Also, shout out Steve Kerr, showing love to Harvard basketball, Tommy Amaker, before the series started. Always love Steve Kerr for doing that, keeping it real.